Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. If today is the first time you're visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome and invite you to watch any of our 500 videos arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both entertaining and useful to watch. If you've been here before but you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Today we have another fun project for you. We're going to change the look of our kitchen by changing the headlight from an old industrial looking track lighting system to a more farmhouse, warmer, custom made, how would you describe that? Light fixture. So if you're interested to learn how to build that for yourself, please stick around and we are going to show you how to do it. Thank you and enjoy that. So we're going to start with our find from the store, which is
it's a $4 shutter that we found. It was a single and we thought we could put it to some good use.
So the first step is to remove the hardware, and we're not going to need it because for this purpose we are not going to use the hardware, right? It's not going to be an operational thing.
Right.
We're going to use the hardware because you always need one of those little diddly-dads, right? The magnets.
Doohickeys, yeah. And save it. It's got a good magnet on it because it's attracting my screwdriver. And that'll need a little coercion to come off.
Percussive persuasive.
Yeah. I'm going to take the hinges off too. We also will not need those.
And apparently a Phillips will not remove a straight screw, huh? Do you need a smaller one? That might be too big.
Yeah. I want to put in this up.
All the advantages of the right tool. That is a longer screw than I anticipated. Wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Or a lot of it. And here what the screwdriver could not do. That is a strong magnet. That is a strong magnet, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a keeper.
And this is what we call here in the shop percussive persuasion. I messed it up. So we're going to start with the sanding of this piece for two reasons. It will be a fairly lengthy process, right? And secondly, it will determine to a large degree how we're going to finish it, right?
Right.
So we have to completely sand it, which is not a fun job. Luckily, Mrs. Wizard enjoys sanding.
Yep.
But we're going to start. Go ahead. So we can see a little bit of the wood showing up. So here we are. We are not completely done yet, and by we I mean Miss Wizard. But you can see there is some pretty nice wood underneath. I always wonder why people paint good quality wood. Have you ever figured that out?
Well, it depends. Like this could have been an outdoor shutter. Let's just say it was an outdoor shutter. Probably not. But it could have been, and you would want to protect it from the weather.
Right, but it looks... We were hoping that it would look nice like this, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's got some really pretty grain in it. I think it's going to look nice if we stain it. So
Okay.
I'm glad we decided to sand it.
All right, so we're going to finish the sanding and then we're going to make decisions based on that. So we're going to be right. So Miss Wizard has been working diligently in cleaning the piece, and we had to procure a new equipment for our arsenal. We used to have one of those before, but we did not bring the batteries with us, so it is useless. And it's a Black & Decker. It was old, we decided to go and purchase a $15 Harbor Freight. What is the brand?
Detail sander. It's a Warrior.
Yeah, it's a Warrior. And so far, what do you think, Miss Wizard?
It's working.
Okay,
You know,
let us see a little
feels
bit.
nice.
And so what you're working on is these little corner parts that you didn't get with the round sander.
Right, right. So shutter has lots of little details and connection points that you've got to get the paint off.
And I'm sure we'll use this on other projects as well. So,
Okay.
okay. And as you can see, it does a very good job of cleaning it. So we place our sage for our, what is that called?
Pendant lights.
We place the sage for our pendant lights here, and to make sure that they will look good when we're finished. And we're going to go inside and make a mark so we know where our cables are going to go through. So let's do that. Here we are. We have finished sanding the, again, what do we call this?
Shutter.
The shutter we're going to use. And we are creating a frame on the top part of it, right? Mm-hmm. And this is just the dry fit right now. We have not attached it yet. And this will allow us to manage our cables.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to fix the frame. You have seen us making many frames in the channel. So this is a straightforward one, no miters or anything else, right? Just make sure that the two sides that are parallel to each other are the same dimension. So we are going to assemble the frame, and we are going to return telling you how we're going to proceed next.
And we're just using wood that we had lying around in the shop, just an extra piece of wood from another project.
In addition to our find of the shutter.
Yeah, to enhance the three-dimensional piece that we're trying to make.
So we brought the pieces in our bench to assemble our frame, and we have attached two of the corner clamps and created the first connections, and then we're going to use two more clamps to do the other side.
Yeah, and before we put it in the clamps, we did apply a little bit of glue.
Right. And we're going to use brad nails so we can move along with our build, not have to wait for a couple of hours for the glue to dry. Otherwise, if time is not an issue, you can leave it with just the glue, right? So our frame now is glued together. It's held together by our clamps, and we're going to reinforce it with brad nails. I clearly need to oil this machine.
You say that every episode.
Because I forget it stops firing, and then when I use it, it's like, why is it not firing? Oh, because I haven't watered it.
You haven't watered it.
I don't think I should water it. In general, that's not the correct way to go. Sorry.
No, you're not.
I said sorry, didn't I?
But you're not.
But I am. All right. So let us decide how we're going to attach this to the shutter, and we're going to be right back. So now we are securing the frame to the shade with 2-inch screws, and we are creating pilot holes first to ensure that we're not splitting the wood. And pilot holes are very important when you're working with thin pieces of wood like this, right?
Right.
What is this, you think, 3/4 or half?
It's like 3/4 of an inch thick.
Okay. All right, so we'll finish that and we'll go on the next step. So if you remember earlier, we made some marks on when the cable from our lights will enter what we're going to call this. It's not a
It's a shutter, But we're using it as the base for our light fixture.
And under where the holes are, I've put a 2x4, so we're not putting all the pressure on the little slats and break them, right? So now we're going to make a hole. Yeah, I think you're right, that's not big enough. So we made the 3 holes to drive our wire through the slots, and this is going to be covered by the trim, right? Is that what it's called?
Flange on
Yes. So the next step, I believe, is to stain it, right?
Right.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to get right back with you. Okay, so we put some plastic down on our bench to protect our bench from the stain. And we're going to stain it. We're going to have to let it dry a little bit after we stain it, and then we're going to start with the installation. No?
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that have been following the channel for some time, you might remember this bench. This used to be my automotive bench, but I made some changes. I brought my Sears Craftsman chest, and that became now my tool chest for the wood shop. And the other one I had, I don't remember what it was it a Husky, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Became my automotive one. So in another episode I will show you this. We are in a bit of a disarray right now, but we are going to get better organized. This is part of the growing pains when you get into a new shop.
It's a nice way to say we got some housekeeping to do.
It's not a way to say that as I bring more tools in, I have to find new ways to keep them and more organized and things and stuff. And last wiping to get any remaining dust or particles out of the piece, and then the magic of stain. This wood actually is surprisingly good, right? Don't you agree, Mo?
Yeah, it's a pretty green.
So as you can see, it changed personality completely, right? And we're going to stain it and let it dry for a little bit, and then we're going to move in the installation process. So to make it a 2 episode next week? No, we wouldn't do that to you, would we? Maybe we would. We'll see. And while our stain is drying, we're back in the kitchen and we're going to remove the old fixture, which Mrs. Wizard is not very fond of. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's useful. It's very bright when it's on, but I can't stand track lights for decor.
And because this house is wired in a very, very strange way, I'm making sure that all power is off. You can do that. So Big Wizard removed the cover plate, and now we are removing the actual fixture from the junction box, which is the first step in our trying to get this light down. Hopefully this is done semi-correctly and there are no other screws or fasteners. They're not supposed to be, but so far I've not failed to be surprised by how things were done in the house. So an unexpected turn of events is that the old owner had used toggle bolts to attach the track light. As a result, has left rather big, large holes on the ceiling, which even
Big, large.
big and large, yeah, which we are going to attempt to fill, even though we believe, actually I'm quite certain they're not going to be visible, right? So what we're doing, we're going through both layers from here to here so we can use the screws to attach to the ceiling.
Right.
All right?
Well, there we
So
go.
we use the inside again, and we've made more holes to allow us to attach the, what is it called? The top part.
Shutter?
The plate.
Whatever, you know, the top part of the light that normally goes to the ceiling. We also have put screws that they are just protruding a little bit, but they are clear all the way through the frame and the frame we made, right? So now we're ready to start the wiring process. Also, here we plugged the holes that they were left by the previous track. And we don't need to paint it or do anything more here because this will be actually hidden, right?
Oh, we hope so.
So here we are, I'm getting ready to do the wiring for the lights. We are in the back of the piece and you can see the 3 lights coming through, and I don't know if those are visible, but those 2 bolts are what are attaching the light. You want to go around this hole? Attaching their lights to our fixture here. Now, a couple of things that we learned. Probably it is better to try to stay on the top versus the bottom of the angle here, because it increases your ability to bite into the screw, right? It makes the screw longer in essence. So far, again, this is not visible and all these wires are going to be hidden behind this. We still have our screws there attached that were attached to the ceiling, so we're going to simply put all the wires together, green to green, black to black, and white to white, and then we are going to attach them to the ceiling. Again, this is a very straightforward wiring. Again, green to green, white to white, and black to black. And then we're going to attach these to the ceiling wiring. Alright, we're going to do that and we're going to be right back with you. And here is our finished project. It has a farmhouse look, right? And we're using LED Edison bulbs on this. And we're going to turn them for you in a moment. And here is the lit project. And how we feel about it, Miss Wizard?
I like it a lot.
I think it's very cool. Very, very cool. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it turned out very nice. It's a custom piece. You're not going to find it anywhere else, and unless somebody decides to copy you.
Right.
But it's very, very nice, and of course goes with the copper theme that you're wanting in the kitchen, so it's nice. Okay.
So what did we learn in this episode? What are the lessons we learned building this project?
Shutters have slants.
Slants. And this is a fun project, but takes a lot of time because there is a lot of sanding, thanks to Miss Wizard, right, love?
Yep.
And also you have to wait. Well, this is our episode for today, and we do hope you did enjoy this episode. This is a fun and whimsical project that can really give personality to your house, and something that most certainly you cannot go out and buy, right? And of course there are many variations of this theme and you can make it look any way you want. So if you enjoyed this episode, we would ask you to give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Please share, like, subscribe, and let us know what else you might want to see in future episodes. From the Wizard, Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida, and the Urban Homesteading channel, we ask that you stay safe, wash your hands, put your masks on, so we can see you again during the week and next weekend. Farewell, friends.